Welcome to Kew Gardens. It's spring 2023 and I was determined to get down here. So here is our spring 2023 video from Kew Gardens. And have we got a treat for you? Because not only have we got spring flowers, but we've got views from across the whole park and over to London as well. So stay watching, you'll love it. Do you know what? He's so right, folks. You're going to absolutely love this video because we've got so much to bring you in the space of, well, this time. And the colours are absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do is not only show you around Kew Gardens, we're going to play some beautiful music as well to make it a whole, well, sort of relaxing thing as well. With some videos that we film, we don't show them immediately and we show them to you later. But here, Kew Gardens, this was filmed literally 3 or 4 days before it was released here on YouTube. So that's how up to date this is. So it looks like from the blossom and how much is actually on the floor, we got here just in time to get it. And have the blossoms got some beautiful colours to show you as well. So not only have we got cherry trees and various other blossom trees as well. Yes, you can tell I'm no horticulturalist and I can hardly say that word anyway. But we've also got bluebells. Yes, I couldn't believe we actually found some of those here ready to go as well. And it just goes to show you what kind of climate London is and central London and the warmth that it's got. But also rhododendrons. And wow, have we got some rhododendron bushes and some colours to show you as well. Plus, of course, the odd palm tree that's thrown in for good measure. Now welcome to the appropriately named Cherry Tree Walk for some unknown reason. So this is the Temperate house, which is at the end of this walk, and you can see the pagoda over in the far corner. Have no fear, we're going to be going near the pagoda again very, very shortly. But whilst we're here, let's take in the beautiful cherry blossom here on the trees, but also all of the tulips which are in the grass underneath as well. To get maximum enjoyment out of this video, we've got a couple of tips for you. So number one, grab one of those Glade plugins and make sure you've got the spring aroma and then put that in whilst you're watching this video. There you go, that's got the aroma sorted because we've got the colours for you that are here. And then also, we just want you to sit back, relax and enjoy because we're going to play some lovely background music whilst we take in some of the beautiful blossom as well. Yes, not as much chirping away from me. See, sounding better already, isn't it? Before we go into the Temperate house and look at some of the spring flowers, one of the things I always say is if you want to really enjoy something twice, walk through it and look one direction and then look back because you get a completely different view and you can take in twice as much beauty. One of the things we don't want to do is cover old ground, so we've only popped into the Temperate house just to come see some of the spring flowers that are in here, and also a first for Kew Gardens coming up in just a second as well inside the Temperate house. And this, if you're coming into the Temperate house, is a feature that you've got to come and see. Yes, it's the waterfall and it's absolutely beautiful, so do make sure you make your way down here because that sound of running water is fantastic. If you've never visited the Temperate house before, that I'm showing you around here is a walkway which goes just underneath the apex of the roof. Gives you fantastic views over the Temperate house. Now, this is the absolute must. This is what's called a false banana plant, and this is the flower, and it's never flowered here in the 20 years it's been at Kew Gardens, and this is the flower it produces. Now, as I said, it's never flowered here at Kew Gardens in the 20 years that it's been here. And what will happen is the flower will grow to about 15 metres in length, which is absolutely massive, and then the plant will die. See, we couldn't come to Kew Gardens and not show you this. Right, time to get back outside. Let's go see the spring blossom. So our next adventure here at Kew Gardens is to go up the Pagoda. Now, it's only got about 250 steps, roughly 250 steps. So, if you've ever gone up to the top of St Paul's Cathedral, which we did earlier this year, it's half as many steps as St Paul's Cathedral. So, actually, an absolute piece of cake, if you're good at climbing stairs, of course. To go up the 9 stories of the Pagoda, you've got to buy an extra ticket, which costs an adult £4.50. I didn't quite catch what the child one was, but actually it's well worth it because the views from the top are incredible. But let's have a quick look at these dragons, which are on the side of the Pagoda here, before we go up, and we then get some stunning views from the top, all over Kew Gardens and southwest London. Also, speaking of Kew Gardens and southwest London, a big thank you to the gentleman that put in the comments a little while ago when we did Kew Gardens at Christmas saying, "This is not London, never London, you shouldn't feature it on your channel." To you, sir, thank you very much for your feedback. We love Kew Gardens and it's part of London because it's got buses and it's got tube trains, so we're going to carry on doing it. Now it's got everyone rifling for the comments. So when you get here and you buy your ticket, it's time for half an hour, and you've got half-hour slots that you can actually come up the Pagoda. And as you can see, you've got a wooden staircase all the way up. So with accessibility needs or anything else like that, you're not going to be able to come up here, I'm afraid. But let me take you up and let me give you the view. Now, as I said before, it's 9 views, and you can get off at each floor and then come and have a look out of the windows over Kew Garden at that level. You can't get out onto the balconies, they're all locked up, and at the very, very top they've got windows and they make sure they've got someone standing up there to stop you. Now, this is the view from the 9th and the very, very top floor. This is the Japanese garden here at Kew Gardens, and the views over the whole of Kew Gardens. And what is absolutely beautiful at this time of year, which you'll see in just a second when we look out of the next window, which takes in the Temperate house, you can see the spring blossom on the trees from above. There you go, look at that, all sort of shining out and sort of saying, "I'm here." I also love that you can see the various walkways around Kew Gardens, which are shown on the map. And also, if you just look on the other side of the Temperate house above it, you can see the cherry tree walk that we did a little bit earlier in this video, all shining out beautiful there. On a really clear day, you'll be able to see across to London, but you can just about make out in the haze the Shard, and that's the City of London as well, and you can also see Canary Wharf. So you get a really good view across London on a lovely clear day. If it's raining or a bit hazy like it is today when I took the shots, yeah, you take pot luck with the view. Here we're looking out over Richmond, which is right next to Kew, so Richmond upon Thames, and of course you've got the Thames snaking round by part of Kew Gardens as well, and of course it then goes to Richmond, and we'll be covering that in a future video, because whilst down here took the opportunity to go into Richmond as well, which is beautiful, so we'll be bringing that on a future video on this channel. And here's a bit of history. Back in 1942, they used the Pagoda to test different smoke screen curtains. So what they would do is the smoke bombs that they put down so the Allied forces could hide behind the smoke, they would test here at the Pagoda just to see how dense and the chemical mixtures and all the rest of it, just to make sure it's all safe. And here is one of the trap doors, or the place where the trap door was, so you can see down below. Now, if you're looking at this and feeling semi-fit but don't think you can get all 9 floors, just get here to the 3rd floor. Here at the 3rd floor, you're still above the tree level, but you can still get fantastic views over Kew Gardens as well. There you go, that's our tip for you if you can't make it to the 9th floor. So, there we are, that's the Pagoda, giving you fantastic views over Kew Garden and also across London as well, so it's well worth the visit. Right, let's continue our walk around Kew Gardens and find some more fantastic spring blossom for you. What I love about Kew Gardens is how vast it is, and I can't believe I've never discovered the Japanese garden before, and there are many other parts that I discovered whilst I was on my walk as well. So here is the Japanese garden, and if you're going to have Japanese spring blossom, well, what a better place for it. Now, one of the big things you'll have noticed if you've watched our previous videos where we've covered the Japanese gardens over at Regent's Park and also the Kyoto Garden at Holland Park is there is a lack of water. So this Japanese garden has been specifically made with gravel, and it's a different type of Japanese garden, and people aren't allowed to walk on it. Although you can get on it, there are signs everywhere saying please don't walk on the gravel. Here we're on Cedar Walk, which takes you through some beautiful cedar trees, taking you from one side of Kew Gardens, the Pagoda, all the way up to the boat lake, which we're going to do. Now, I'm not going to take you for the whole route, but you can see the beautiful cedar trees in front of you. And this is just a number of really long walkways that take you around Kew Gardens. Oh yeah, when you're out and about, watch for the watch for the maintenance being done. Thankfully, I didn't get run over, but they're all over the place. Now here we're up by the boat lake. As you can see, we're joined by some feathered friends, very, very tame. But what I wanted to show you was this carpet of natural beauty. All these white flowers are the communal daisy. And there's just, as you can see, hundreds of thousands of daisies just laying here. So I wanted to bring you this blanket of whiteness because it's beautiful. Oh, and by the way, just to prove it, I'm going to show you some daisies. If you're watching this video because you're thinking of coming down to Kew Gardens, then not only come down to Kew Gardens because it's an amazing place to come, but do make sure you head towards the boating lakes here. And when I say they're boating lakes, they don't actually put any boats in it, but you can really just sit here on many of the benches that are put here, watch the wildlife and just take in the beautiful scenery. The house you can see on the other side of the river, yes, the Thames is between us and that house, is Syon House, and that's another place that we'll be visiting this summer. Can't wait to get there. Now, this is one of the walkways that takes you through Kew Gardens, and what you can see right at the end is the Palm House. So it just goes to show you the distance from one side of Kew Gardens right through to the other, and that's the Palm House, which we'll go past a little bit later with some beautiful flowers outside. And as you can see, you've got the daisies all around you. Right, let's go for some beautiful whites and let's go back into the different colours. And we're going to start off with these bluebells. Now, considering we've shot this in the middle of April, I couldn't believe there were bluebells out and about already, which just goes to show you that the mild weather that you have in London has attracted the bluebells out early this year. Right, that's the bluebells. Are you ready for some more amazing colour? Yep, it's time for rhododendrons. We advised you earlier to get one of those Glade plugins for the smell, so hopefully you've just had a nice waft from that. Now, here on the ground, I'm not quite sure what these flowers are. As you can tell, I'm not an expert in flowers, and I know someone watching will be able to tell me, but I initially thought they were snowdrops, but they can't be snowdrops because it's too late in the season. But these just, well, they look beautiful. Unless there's some form of snowdrops, I dare say someone will put in the comments down below exactly what they are. One thing YouTube is safe from, that's me starting a channel all about flowers in London. Yep, definitely haven't got the knowledge for that. What is absolutely amazing is that all the beautiful flowers on the trees, and you've got these rhododendrons where they've literally just come out, and then you go and find a tree like this which is almost shed its lot. Now I think this is a type of magnolia tree. Again, I know someone will put in the comments exactly what it is, but it's absolutely beautiful and it's eye-strikingly yellow in colour, which is incredible. If accessibility is an issue for you, or just getting around Kew Gardens, how about this? Yes, you've got to watch out if you're a pedestrian, but you can jump on this Kew Garden, well, sort of minibus, and it takes you right around Kew Gardens. It takes you on a tour, and you just can pick it up and get off wherever you fancy at different stops around the garden. So it's a great way of getting around for you, and also just a great way to see all the beautiful sights around Kew. Just be careful if you're a pedestrian, you don't get run over. You can't come to Kew Gardens without featuring probably the most recognisable part of Kew Gardens. Of course, the palm house. But if you come in spring, what they've done outside the front of the palm house is absolutely gorgeous, with all of the flowers laid out spring-like, all of the tulips in the beds in front. So let's show you those. These flower beds are absolutely beautiful, and it's as if the gardeners have been told just cram every single flower you possibly can in a beautiful order just here in front of the palm house, because it just looks absolutely amazing. Plus there's also a guide, but actually to show you all of the flowers and the guide we could be here for a video for hours. So anyway, here's just a little selection of some of the beautiful flowers. It almost feels like the gardeners have done a bit of a Where's Wally game, because you've got all these white tulips, and then in the middle, every so often, you've got a red coloured one as well. There you go. I think I might have won on that one. If you're a regular watcher of the channel, you'll know that we come to Kew Gardens every Christmas to come and take in the beautiful lights. And it's this lake that they always have for the finale that we film, with the water fountains flying up and the music going in time with all of the different sorts of decorations. Right here in front of the palm house, which also changes colour as well. So there you go. If you fancy looking at some Christmas stuff, this is definitely a video to come and have a look at, because Kew Gardens do Christmas unlike anything else that we've ever seen. And with that, happy spring. So what did you think of spring 2023 over here at Kew Gardens? What was your favourite bit? More importantly, what have I missed out? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, we've been to Kew Gardens before, and I'm going to show you the Temperate houses, the palm house, etc. when we last came down here. And I'll put a link to that video up in the top corner for you. So if you click on that, I'll see you in there.